Hi, and welcome to Meet the Candidates 2013, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Angie Whitcomb. Our hope is that these candidate profiles and interviews will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2013 election. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to get out the vote on November 5th. Please visit the Chamber website to find out information about future candidate debates, as well as polling hours and locations. And thank you for making the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau your election information resource. Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2013, a voter education program sponsored by the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. My name is Angie Whitcomb, and today I am joined by City Council candidate Aaron Weyer. Aaron, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Angie.
Why don't you start by giving the audience at home a brief introduction of yourself and why you are choosing to run for council?
So about myself, I grew up in Sartell, Minnesota. I went to St. Cloud State University. I graduated in 1999 with a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering. I started at Seagate Technology straight out of college, so I celebrated my 14th year there this year. I met my wife Sarah in 2003, and we moved into Shakopee in 2004, built a brand new house in the Westchester development, and that's when I began my community involvement. In 2004, we hosted the National Night Out for the whole Westchester development. It was a newer development, so tried to bring everybody into what's now the Westminster Park, and we held the National Night Out there. In 2005, we again hosted National Night Out. That was more of a smaller along our street, just because the development had filled in. In 2005, we also became members of the Shakopee Community Emergency Response Team. Okay. In 2010, to get a better understanding of the police department and the challenges it faces, we both actually participated in the Shakopee Citizens Police Academy. And then in 2012, I wanted to get more involved in the city and applied for and was appointed to the Environmental Advisory Committee. And in 2013, earlier this year, I was elected the vice chair of that committee. And with the elections coming up in November, I decided it would be a good opportunity for me to further my involvement in running for an elected position.
Great. Well, thank you for that. So Aaron, in your view, what is the most pressing issue facing Shakopee in the next year? And if elected to council, what actions will you take to try to resolve that issue?
So I think the most pressing issue is going to be managing the growth that we're seeing. Right now there's many large-scale economic development activities that are going on and many jobs that are coming in. And I feel with those activities, we're going to probably see a fair amount of hopefully smaller business growth, whether it's retail or restaurants, things like that citizens have been asking for a while, as well as expansion in the residential developments, because hopefully the people who are working in these positions will also be living in Shakopee. How I manage first the larger scale economic development is that taking the current projects development map that the city has and actually placing on that map the number of jobs that are associated with each of those developments to understand where the density is going to be, and then work with that map as well as the other map the city has, which is the vacant and open land map, to identify, maybe working with those developers, options to maybe support the new larger scale development. Beyond that, it's going to be managing, where is the next economic development growth going to be, as well as the residential growth. That's most likely going to be on the western end of town, near Marystown, and 169. I know is probably going to be where the next residential expansion is, and also with the 169 and 69 interchange happening. I know there's been a lot of discussion about economic growth in that area, and just trying to develop a strategic plan on how that growth is going to be brought into the city.
Great. If elected to City Council, Aaron, how would you support the health of the business community?
Well, there's three ways I'd think about supporting the health of the business community. The first one would be the working relationship the city has with the chamber. I've witnessed the efforts that the chamber's put in, along with the city, the planning department, the planning commission, the economic development advisory committee, all put in for the sign ordinance that's underway right now and hopefully finalized soon. I think the efforts that everybody's put into that will be beneficial for the business community going forward. I would expect that if the chamber or other businesses see some potential things they feel could be improved in the policies and procedures that the city has, that hopefully that working relationship could aid in improving those. The secondly would be promoting of businesses. I know right now there's discussions about, you know, a downtown maybe promoter or working with Main Street Minnesota on how we can improve the downtown area of Shakopee. So I think that's good work there. There's also the study that is going to be performed by the consultant for the Highway 101 First Avenue corridor, and with a marketing plan. And I'd like to see if there's some efforts that we can either learn from those or leverage those for maybe some of the other developments that we have existing in Shakopee right now. Lastly would be taxes. I feel like taxes are very important to both the business community and the residential community. And I think the goal would be to keep the taxes as low as possible and also stable, so that businesses, when they're looking to come to Shakopee, they can see that yes, you know, Shakopee has a stable tax base, so that they don't move here and all of a sudden, you know, taxes raise on them or something like that. And especially the existing businesses, if they're struggling or anything, so that we're not stressing them with further taxes.
Great. So along that same line, if someone came to you and was considering moving their family or their business to Shakopee, what would you say to them to convince them that Shakopee was indeed the place for them?
I would say that it's an ideal place, and actually it's an ideal time with the number of jobs that are coming to Shakopee for both families and businesses. From a family aspect, if you're looking for a job, or if you're out of work looking for a job, or even if you're looking for a new job, with the jobs that are coming to Shakopee, you would have an opportunity to both work and live in the same city. I feel, you know, I don't know if I'd say privileged, but I feel that it's great that I can live and work in the same city. I have a short commute, and so I would hope that that would, you know, encourage people who are looking to move here, if they can find a job here, to move here. From a business perspective, especially if you're a smaller business, maybe looking either to start up or to expand, with the jobs that are coming here, you have an expanding customer base, both with the people who are going to be working here on a daily basis, but also for the people who might be moving here. The next thing I would probably highlight is the improvements we made in transportation. The 494 and 169 interchange has greatly improved our ability to get into the inner ring of the metropolitan area. The Highway 101 river crossing, raising that above the floodplain will help congestion if we ever have flooding again, so not everybody's backed up on 169. The 169-69 interchange, removing, you know, another set of stoplights. As many stoplights as we can remove on 169 is great. And then if you're somebody who moves here but still has to commute to downtown, we have many different commuting options. You have the Southbridge transit station, you have the Eagle Creek Park and Ride, and now the Marshall Road Transit Station will be coming online, and I see that as a benefit for maybe people who live on the west side who don't necessarily want to take 169 and then get off, and you know, this way they can come right to Marshall Road and maybe take a bus to go to work. Finally would be highlighting the amenities that Shakopee has. We have a lot of entertainment options, obviously with Valley Fair and Canterbury Park, just highlighting some of them. There's an extensive park and rec that we've focused on. There's a trail system. There's the new dog park going in by Southbridge. There's a park spread throughout the community, so it's not like you have one giant park in one spot. They're spread out. And just focusing on some of those things and letting people know how great of a place Shakopee is to be.
Great. Now there are 5 candidates for 2 open council seats. What is it about you that voters should know that differentiates you from your competition? Why should people vote Weyer on November 5th?
I think people should vote Weyer on November 5th for a couple of reasons. I have a thirst for knowledge, and I want to understand the issues the city is facing. And really what I want to do is dig into the issues so that we can get as much information about them as possible, so we can make the best decision as possible for Shakopee. I know we've asked staff to do, and we've kind of stretched staff thin, but you know, they bring things to us. But as a counselor, I would also try to research as much as I could about what other cities are doing, or just get as much information as I could to come up with the best decision for Shakopee. Additionally, I think I bring a unique perspective coming from a technology field, working as an engineer at Seagate. In my career, I've had numerous complex problems I've had to solve and work through with different people. And I think my problem-solving skills and analytical skills I have from my engineering career can be beneficial for solving the issues the city faces. Finally would be just that I feel being elected a councilor is an opportunity to give back to the community. and I want to give back to the community, and it's kind of a natural progression from where I've been as far as working in the neighborhood, then doing an advisory position, and now running for an elected position. And I just want to work with the citizens to make Shakopee the best it can be.
Great. Thank you very much for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining this edition of the 2013 Meet the Candidates, brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Please be sure to check out the Chamber's website at shakopee.org for all information leading up to the November 5th, 2013 election.